Okay, so, yeah, quite a late stream tonight. So, I was doing other things, and even though it's late, I don't really mind. I just want to throw one of the streams because I've been working a little bit off camera, and it's starting to accumulate, and I don't really want to have too much of a jump between the different streams. So if we actually look at that, when was the last stream? Was it 3 days ago? So here we have the groundwork for the drill upgrades. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's pretty much what happened since the last stream, which is creating the first drill upgrade to bring in the crystal slot back, and a few refactoring to... yeah, there's a lot of refactoring actually to bring in old stuff, make it, I want to say, usable for other purposes, right? So here, for example, we have on the left of this laboratory view a list of crystals, and it's actually the exact same list of crystal that I'm using here, probably there, yeah, in the drill. So anyway, we're gonna actually go look at that in the game. So yeah, here it's basically the same as before. I think that the settings for the inventory, I think those were already there in a previous life. I don't know. Well, if it didn't, I'm going to go through that again. So basically we have one upgrade at the moment, which unlocks the settings for the inventory, and it allows us to automatically process crystals when they are added to the inventory, so that we can grind or sell the crystals based on what we want to do. On top of that, we do have the inventory capacity, which when it is exceeded, the game automatically sells the crystal that was made. So now for the drill. So here as well, upgrades. Okay, so first upgrade is adding the first crystal slot. Crystal slot, which at the moment is still working like the previous crystal slot that you may have seen at the top right corner in a previous stream. So when we click on it, we basically destroy the crystal, and otherwise if it is empty, we have access to our crystal list to find one which we can insert in there. So yeah, let's have this one. So that's for the drill. Of course, we have a little bit of impact from the crystal on this drill, which is basically boosting each 3 properties, because we have all 3 colors right there. So no balance done, it's just like very random calculation just to make it better. And the new thing is this laboratory. So this laboratory works with the same menu on the side, menu which can be reworked a little bit at some point, because it's just, yeah, crystals like this. That can be reworked, but anyway, we can at any point choose a crystal and right click to choose what to do with it, and we can choose to study a crystal, and this will the crystal here, so that it will actually have a, basically, so it's not really self-explanatory right there, Crystals have a health pool, which is named integrity, crystal integrity. And the more, when you study a crystal, it will slowly destroy the crystal to a point that it is fully destroyed. You can think of this as the idle combat system of the game, right? Instead of combating monsters and everything, you will choose a crystal and you will go through a various set of attacks from different, I'm gonna say angles, but elements, etc. And based on your crystal, it will lose more or less integrity, slowly ranking up in testing, studying levels so that it takes more and more damages. The point here is that when you study crystals, you create crystal fragments. Crystal fragments which are technically higher tier than the crystal itself. They can be. So here we have tier 1 crystals, which will be eventually producing higher tier crystals. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they will be colored, like tier 2 red fragment. I don't know yet. And anyway, you will be able to recreate entirely new crystals from higher tiers, which have better stats, and which you can then, for example, insert to the drill. And having tier 2 crystals inserted in there now will allow the drill to find better crystals overall. So that's pretty much it for everything that happened since the last stream. Except that right there I'm seeing that there's an input which is not working because before, when you actually clicked away, like right-clicked somewhere, it would close the menu. So I will be looking into that real quick. Okay. So I do have the laboratory UI, and I have my grid container here. So we have the manual input, so maybe this is disconnected. Yes, that's probably the problem. Now I think I see what I did wrong. Yes. So here we would have like a menu. What was the name? Menu input. Oh, wait a second. On menu input. Okay. Maybe you can see in those. Did I actually create? Because we have the crystal menu item, which has the GUI input here, right? And we should have something similar for this pop-up. Oh, that's window input, probably. Yep. So I just have to bind this, so that's going to be window input. And that's probably fixed because the behavior was already created. So here I right click, and when I do right click somewhere else, it closes. Okay. All right. Let's see. So we'll have quite a lot we can do. Maybe I could bring a task list to organize this a little bit. So let's see, let's create a new sprint. Well, actually, well, we have one here. I didn't use this one. So, yes, I guess today.
Everything's telling me that I should
Alright.
stick around.
So there's one thing,
I think that's where I'm supposed to be.
which is in the laboratory. I want to load current study.
Why didn't you just say yes? I sent you so many messages.
I'm gonna do that. Okay. This one's actually going to be...
I'm your dad. Oh man, just
It's going to be something, right? It's not going to be that easy.
I really want to hang out and get to know you.
I actually didn't do any data structure for this laboratory yet. So we could start with that. Here, create a new script, which is data laboratory. All right. We have the study crystal. We probably want to keep track of the state. So here we would have the state as a laboratory state. Huh. Oh, we need a default value.
It's your father.
So by default it's going to be null.
Any man can have a child.
Okay.
When someone is around to raise them well can call themselves a father.
There's a problem though.
I see a lot of her in you.
Oh, we can't because it's not a resource. Alright, so we probably need an index instead. So here we'll have an integer. Okay, so I will have to create an enum, I guess. We probably want to save the crystal integrity. And I think that's all we have to save at the moment.
I want to protect you from the darker parts of the world that we've crossed.
Alright, so that's enough to start with.
So like that.
Let's go find our script here. So, just talking a little bit about this script. If you're just following the series and learning from scratch with this new IO series, there's this thing right there which is a state machine, and it definitely can be a complex structure when you don't know what it is and how it works, etc. So I will probably not bother explaining this here, because it would be very long and not properly timed, I guess, and it actually deserves its entire video on how to make a state machine. So anyway, let's actually start by creating an enum for the states. We have idle, study started, studying, studying, ended. Alright, those are the states. And we can actually force, well, technically we don't really care about that, but because it's going to be 0, 1, 2, and 3, technically. But we need to save the current state, the studied crystal, and the crystal integrity. That's correct. So first let's start with ready. The current state is going to be equal. Wait, what we'll need? We need a method that transforms the enum into a state. So maybe enum to state. Which takes an index, or actually an enum. We have enum state. Turns a laboratory state. Yep. So we can go through enum states. I would do something like this. Yeah. So we have study started, I believe. Yep.
You have a heart that pierces truth. Never ignore your instincts. Your companions are lucky to have you. For most are lost in a crazy world of dreams.
Then we have studying.
Without someone to wake them. Thank you for your wisdom.
And ended. If there's an error for some reasons, I probably want to return idle. Okay, so from there, I probably need state to enum as well. Do I need that? Huh. I'll try this. I don't know how useful it will be. It's going to be returning states. So we have a match again. So if it is matching state idle, it would look like this. State started. I think we have all the possibilities. So this should allow us to save the state that the laboratory is going through. So maybe there's actually a way to save this as a resource and have the state as a resource. I don't know how interesting that could be. I would have to look into that. But yeah, at the moment, let's just make this. So we want to load enum to state. And then we do want to get the data, so game ref data laboratory state. So there are these errors which I will probably disable because I will have a lot of those. Yeah. Unused signal and unused variables. Let's have those unchecked because I'm really annoyed by this. Unused variable. Unused signal. That looks like it. I'm gonna ignore that. So do we agree? Or do I have to reload? I may have to reload. Let's try reloading. Yeah, so we still have one. Yes, unused private. So I thought it would be a different one. Debug. Oh, that's this one. So maybe we want to keep this one. Unused private class property. And instead, well, it's supposed to be private, so yeah, I'm gonna remove it. Okay, let's remove that. So it is the kind of things that will happen a lot, actually. So I don't want to be ignoring those warnings all the time. Okay, so first we do load that. And then once we are in the state, we go through current state, dot end state, and of course self. So maybe we do want to load crystal integrity as well. So we have crystal integrity. And we load that. Okay. So we probably need to check those methods as well. So studied crystal. So it's going to be the game data one. And when we change the state, so we do want to change the actual state here, but we want to mimic ref data laboratory state. And this is going to be equal to state to init with current state. That's it for this main state manager. But we now have to take care of these states in there because they may have something to do. So I'm gonna close everything and let's see. Okay, so here crystal integrity changes. All right, and change state, but that's fine. Studying. Okay, so when we damage the crystal, we do want to change the game data actually. So game. And maybe we want to get a variable for this. Yeah, so we have a few to change. Alright, so I think it's good now. It's probably fine. So that when we load, we enter the correct state.
I mean, really? I mean, people aren't good.
Okay.
That's not how this works. I mean, things that you do are good.
So that's for the logic side of the game. But now for the UI of it. Here we have a few things to do. So we have data loaded, of course, as usual.
People come and they
Let's
talk
blind it.
a lot. When they're grieving. Yeah. And you listen a lot. I don't know much, but I know people. And I know things that aren't people. There's a lot more.
When the data's loaded,
You seem to pick up on the stuff that's not said.
I mean, you have to.
so we probably need to have those get values from the laboratory. I actually need to check the state so that we do know if we actually start the study or if we end it. So those will probably go in functions. Start study. Let's see. So, yeah. So the progress bar value is gonna be equal to laboratory get integrity. Okay, so we need a few methods in there. Get crystal integrity. And we need to know the state. So we have get state, I believe. That will return the enum probably. So we return state to enum of current state. That will make sense. But we also need on data loaded. Because here I'm actually loading this, but no, that was wrong. Crystal integrity by default is going to be 100. Well, actually 0. It actually doesn't need to be loaded. Yeah, let's finish that. Oh, it's finished. So here we just want to go idle by default. State idle. But it is on data loaded that we do want to do something different. And here we load from data. But there is just one thing. On data loaded, we actually want to make sure that the UI loads after the logic. So maybe this is already handled by the game having the UI being loaded after the laboratory. That could be a reason for this to be. Yep. So anyway, on data loaded, we have the crystal integrity as well. So, well, technically, do we really care? Because we will erase it and just keep the current state. We probably will have a problem as well in damage, now that I think about it. Because damage is... oh no. We're good. Never mind. Okay, so that's for the logic. UI. So in the UI, when we start the study, we have game, we actually get laboratory, crystal integrity. And that's on stop. So we have and study. So now when the data is loaded, we need to check the state. Let's state as in... let's actually make it a medium. Actually, we can make a simpler check. I just want to see that if the state is equal to studying, we want to start. Otherwise, we want to end.
Mr. Clay
and by default, we want to end as well. And study. That seems correct. So technically now we could be loading the game. Well, no, because we have no data. Yep, enter state, crystal integrity is equal to... yes. So here we have game ref data.
That sounds great.
Alright. Okay, so we do have an error. Is that because, let's see. Studied crystal.
Please let me know what you think.
Alright.
Only rose here.
Game ref data.
Generation.
Drinking dead people tea.
Aren't we all?
But you're like cultivating dead people for good tea.
So maybe we have completely broken... No? No, that's fine. Okay, so we can study this. We'll try to wait and study another crystal. Alright. So we can study another crystal. So now we're going to wait for the study being done. And we'll try to save and reload. So we want to load and it's empty. Now let's study, close, open again, and see. Yes, we're still studying. And if we go away, do something else, maybe field drill, go back to this laboratory, it's done studying. Okay. Alright.
Please let me know, what can I do for you? Usually when people come here it is because of some great tragedy. How may I alleviate your pain?
Right, so I will be right back.
We recently lost one of our friends.
Very quickly.
And we
Come here usually have.
we aren't here to bury him. He's already in the ground. But we've come to avenge him, and we were hoping to find some help. If you knew he was your dad, would you be proud of that? Happy?
I don't know, I was just kind of happy that I knew. You know, Mama seems so sure. But if he doesn't want me, then I don't want him. It's fine.
We've actually come for help and hopefully to have a conversation about.
About the fact that you're my dad.
Okay, so we are done, I believe, with this first feature, which is loading and saving the laboratory state. So, do we actually... Yes, we process those. Isn't it like a lot? 3, 1, 2... That looks fine. That's a lot of crystals, actually. At some point, this inventory will need a major rework. That's for sure.
Parent is a parent. Sometimes it's hard
Hmm.
to write them off. Give it some.
So right now we have different directions to go with.
Father has not been a part of your life.
We can... Let's actually bring a list here. So in the different directions we can use, so we can go with the laboratory and create crystal fragments. So we can work with that. Which is pretty much adding more features. Or we could actually rework previous features, and that's not going to be balanced, but refactor, and rework previous features needing updates. We can also go with balance. Balance tier 1 crystal effects on the drill. We could do that as well. So because I have started this laboratory thing, maybe I will start with that. To finish, in some ways, this feature. Okay, so I probably want a kind of log in there. There are a few things I want to do actually. I'm gonna list the ideas I have in mind for the laboratory. I actually want to do a log notifications for the rewards and events, basically. And I want to add upgrades. More specifically, the ability to queue crystal. So crystal queue. So that you can create a list of crystals you want to study, and they will loop as long as there are crystals in the queue. That could be something. Right, so the thing is that if I want to start with the fragments, I do need to create a way to manage fragments. So I could be using a dictionary, because we now know that typed dictionaries will be a thing, but that would imply updating to 4.4. I don't even know if that's possible right now with it. Probably. Or I could be using just like maybe an array is going to be fine. And then have methods to switch from the array index with the inner, maybe? Okay, let's try something. Maybe we need a resource manager for that. Resources. Yeah, so let's start by creating a resource manager. Crystal. Well, do we really need to say crystal? Fragments. What are the managers like? Idolians manager. Crystal dust manager. Okay. So here, fragments. Gonna be fragments manager. All right. Put the script in there. I think I can start creating the data object at the same time. Okay, so we have resources. Okay, so maybe I can add fragments in there. Bible fragments. And this is going to be an array of integers actually. At the moment we will have 0, 0, 0 because I'm assuming that we will have red, blue and green fragments. All right. Back to the manager. You want to need him? Enum. Think about how it will look like when we call on this enum. We will have fragments manager, fragments manager, and dot. That'd be like index. Indexes? You can try that. Indexes. Let's try. So we have tier 1 red, tier 2 green, tier 1 green, right? That's not going very well. Tier 1 blue. So those are the first indexes we have. Okay. I'm just a little bit worried that it doesn't pick a color. Is that normal? Let's see. Yes, it is normal. I will also add my fragment scene right now to the game before I do forget about that. Alright. So we need a function to be able to get the value. So get value, and here we need the index. So indexes, and that will return an integer. So technically, we actually don't need a method that translates, because we make sure that in the array we have correctly the right order. So we do return game ref data sources fragments, and here integer of index. That makes sense. So now we can try to create a function, create fragments. So we have an index, a quantity, and this will return an error. If the quantity is inferior or equal to 0, we want an error. Okay. Otherwise, game.ref.data sources fragments integer index plus equal quantity, which now raises the question for the signals. So we probably need a signal that will that will contain both the index and maybe the quantity. That could be interesting. So here, fragments created. Do we want the integer or the indexes? Maybe the indexes. So index enum and quantity integer, so that we can call that fragments created, index and quantity. All right. Okay, that seems correct. So maybe we can start working with that to see if this system works fine. How can we do that? We have an idea for that. We can go, I'm just gonna first add a simple print in there. Okay. Fragments created, and we'll have the indexes and wow, the quantity and the index as well. It don't really matter. That don't really matter. So here we have index and quantity. Well, quantity index. Index 15. So that we can go fragments multiplied by, maybe have it like this, like parenthesis. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so here we do know when a fragment is created. Now let's go to the laboratory. Studying state. So we have damage crystal. and we'll have a generate fragments. Okay. So every time the crystal is damaged, we will generate fragments. So here, generate fragments. So at the moment, I will have a roll, which is a random random integer between, well, I'm gonna use that, but yeah, if the roll is superior to 49, superior or equal, probably, we do return and create no fragments. Otherwise, we do create fragments. So here, so I technically want the crystal. Let's not be too complicated at the moment. We're gonna have roll again. It's gonna be equal to a random from 0 to 2, and we will match roll. Let me change that. We'll have color roll. We got the bar. We have a color roll. And quantity roll. So this one is going to be between 0 and 99. Okay. The bar color above fragment index, which is now fragments manager dot indexes, gonna be equal to yes, it will change. So we have a match on color roll. If it is 0, we have fragment index, fragments manager, indexes, tier 1. Okay, that seems to be fitting. Technically, can't we just, well, no, let's not do that. Fragment. Oh, fragment index, actually. Well, let's have a default, we never know, on red fragment. Okay, so we have the color. And then a simple check that if the quantity roll is superior to, let's have it actually inferior to 33, then a variable quantity is necessary here. Integer equal t is going to be equal to number 2, else quantity is going to be equal to 1. Alright, and now we can create the set fragments. So fragments manager, create fragments, fragment index, and quantity. Right, that's kinda, yeah, very random. That's alright. So every time a crystal is damaged, we'll have half a chance that it creates a fragment. When this happens, it will be one of the 3 colors randomly. And it will generate something. So okay, let's see. I'm quite curious to see if that will work. Let's see. So we have generated red, blue, green, blue. So it seems to be working. That's a lot of fragments, but alright. And now, technically, I should be able to go grab this save file somewhere. YouTube idle, where are you? Right, so resources. Dust, okay. Okay, so that's the crystal. So that's the crystal we have saved. Okay. Where do we have fragments? There they are. So we have 3 red, 7 green, 4 blue. Alright. Interesting. So this works. So we can create fragments at the moment. That's just way too much for me. So I'm gonna reduce the row here. So that's gonna be if it is superior to let's actually use inferior. Oh yes, wait, is this if it is superior to 9. Okay. Let's try like this. We should have a lot less, like a lot less. So yes, this index 0 I can get rid of as well. But yeah, here we had 2 fragments for 1 crystal. That's okay. Yep, that's alright. Yeah, that's fine. Much better, I think. So what now? Let's see. Create crystal fragments. So technically that's it. So now we want to log the notifications for the rewards and events. That could be something that once we have implemented it once, could be used for everything. So we have to think about it being abstracted when I create it. Hmm. First, let's see where it will go. Where UI laboratory. So it could go in the bottom right corner. Yep. Could go in the bottom right corner. Okay, we have study, crystal menu. I margin. Wait, why is that? Okay, never mind. So, inspector. Right. Our container. And this is going to be logbook. Probably we do want a minimum size in there, which is well, let me think. No, 400's too much. 320, yep. Okay, we'll have a square. Oh, maybe that's too much. Yeah, let's see. That's probably too much based on the buttons we have. Oh no, that's perfect actually. That's perfect. So we need another margin in there. And a script container. A B-box. Expanding. Expanding. Notebook. Okay. So here, let's see. Actually, we just need to make a script. So log lists. Let's create a script. And we need to watch for something. So let's create a function on study started. On study ended. Not on fragments created. Okay. I do have too many things in there. So first, laboratory. Study started. Let's see. So we have nothing. Okay. And last one, fragments. Fragments created. All right. Fragments created, we have the index. As a fragments manager.indexes, and we quantity as an integer. So we probably need get label. Get label, which takes an index, and returns a string. So we would have a match index, which by default returns unknown fragments. But otherwise, if it is 0, tier 1 red fragments. Tier 1. Interesting. Green fragments. And tier 1 blue fragments. Okay. Oh, we do return actually. Okay, so we can get the label, so that we will use. So we will have a list of logs. There will be an array of label. So we will experiment with one of those at the moment. So we'll have create label. So here we'll have function create log, which takes some text. Alright, so let's create a new label. We create a new label. Let's simulate one. In our log list. So what I want to do is to have a lib text ellipsis, so that if we create a log, okay, like this, exactly. And I believe that if it is too long, can we actually read it? Now we need to make a tooltip to read it. So we probably have a method, something to know if we have overflowed some way. There's maybe a way, but that's not really the problem here. Let's bother with the actual problem, which is making this. So, clip text. Do we actually need to clip text? Do we have? No. We just need to have this text overrun. Okay. So first thing, label.text overrun behavior ellipses. First thing. Second, label.text is equal to text. Okay. And then we want to add the label. So here we will add child node label. And we will add logs that happened label. Okay. So let's see. Let's do that with the fragments being created, because those lines should be different. So var text as a string is going to be equal to quantity x space the index and created. All right, so that would be it. Here, let's have the fragments string. So that's equal to fragments manager ref get label of index. Okay. So that here, in our final text, we do have the quantity and the fragment string. Probably like this. Alright. And now we can call create log with texts. Okay, correct. But
It's more than a thank you.
thing is that add child, do we actually have a better way
So that you can find
to position this? Node
This is me tagging my dad.
No, this is you.
false readable name, don't really care about that.
A man who is afraid of what you owe. I understand.
Let's see. Add child.
This is not your debt. Your debt lies elsewhere.
Hmm.
I know these things.
Because basically what I want is that the most recent label is at the top and not at the bottom. So there's probably a way to change the index. Alright, let's see. No. Internal? What is internal? Child will be added. No. Let's see. Okay. What can we do with that index? Move child to index, so we can do that. Okay, what do they say about that? To give an index. Processing order of serving in rows. Not function set through. Okay. Canvas item nodes also rendered in tree order. Yeah. So we probably just want to move child to 0. So here we add the child and we move child. Wait, where was it? Child node label to 0. So first let's try this. Yes, create a crystal. Alright, let's see. One tier 1 green fragment created. Alright, cool. Very cool. So now we're going to try to make so that when we have too much information here, so let's have a max notifications. So technically that could be a constant, but notifications integer equal to 5. Create log. Okay. And we're gonna check for log deletion. So if logs size superior or equal to maximum notifications, what we do there is that first of all, do we get the child at a specific index? We get child, get children, no, get child, index -1 dot q3 and logs, and here it's actually 0, so that's actually we move out 0. Here we remove the last one and here the first one. Pretty much like this. Okay, let's do something now. So on that it started, create log, crystal study started. In here, crystal destroyed. Pass error expected. That's probably old material. Okay, let's try that. Let's go. Crystal study started. Correct. Destroyed. Started. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we start one, the first one should be gone. Yes. Correct. And now there should be scrolling. So we have very bad luck. Okay, so now we can change this for a little bit more, like 25 logs. At the moment, I'm not gonna save the logs. Pretty useless, I guess. I actually want to see what happens when we have more, to make sure that we can correctly scroll. That should be very fine, right? That's just scrolling. Yes, we can scroll. That's correct. This is completed feature. So here the question is, can we actually make this reusable? I think that this part here should be in the abstract, so that we just have to connect the methods that will create logs. So do we do that now? We could be doing that. The abstract crystal list, and let's create a new script. Log list, logbook, log list. So it extends dbox container. So we have nothing already. Create log, check for log. Alright. And here we extend. Oh, we didn't set a name. Main log list UI. Here extend log list UI. So know that, know this, and that's pretty much it. We just keep the ready connections and what are the logs that we want to create. Yeah, let's see that it's correctly working still. Let's go. Yes, it works fine. All right. That is something we can check off the list. So log notifications, okay, correct. Okay, so we have the... I think that will be the end for today's stream. We have those 3 tasks done. And I will be working on the crystal queue for the next time. I mean, either during the next stream or in between. Maybe I will be thinking about the balance for the previous features. Yep. So anyway, that's going to be the end for this stream. So thank you for those who are still here, either following the stream or watching the VOD. It's always nice to see that you guys still follow this series. I see that there's some views after the live. And yeah, I'm very glad that you do appreciate this project. New episodes in the tutorials should come, because I have a few ideas, a few things which are interesting to add to the tutorials, so this might arrive somewhere. Right, so anyway, I will stop here and I will leave you and see you in the next stream or video.